Good afternoon, guys, and happy Monday to all of your sunshiny faces. I am getting ready to go to bed, guys. It's actually a little late. I am so frustrated. I went to bed, so like over the weekend I did sort of good, like going to bed early and woke up somewhat early. On Friday night I went to bed, or I think it was Thursday night, and then Friday I woke up decently early, and then Friday night I went to bed early, and then Saturday I got up early to go to the grocery stores. Yesterday, I guess yesterday night, not last night, the night before that, I ended up going to bed a little bit later, and I woke up kind of late yesterday, like during the day, but I was like, I chalked that up to like, oh, I was tired, because like I ended up going to bed a little bit later on Friday night for Saturday, and obviously because I got up early to go to the grocery store, so I was like, I'm just a little out of it, like, I kind of gave myself some slack yesterday, and I wasn't, again, there was with the whole time change and everything like that, so I gave myself a little bit of slack. And so then today last night I went to bed at like literally 11 o'clock. I think I was in bed by like 11:30 or something like that. I think I fell asleep like by midnight or something. And I was like, oh yeah, this is good. I was like, I'll get up early tomorrow, and all that kind of stuff. I woke up today so late, and I was so mad, like, because obviously last night I went to bed, like I said, somewhat early because of the time change. Like, it was making me feel like it was way later. And so I woke up like so late though today, and I was like, how on earth did I end up getting up this late? And the thing was that originally I woke up and it was like 8 o'clock in the morning, and I was like, oh, okay, like, I got a little bit of time, so I was like, I'll just lay here for a little while, like, I was on my phone and stuff like that. I was like, and then I'll get up, and I ended up laying there. I didn't end up ever going back on my phone, actually, and I ended up just falling straight back to sleep, and I ended up sleeping until like really late today, and I was like, this is ridiculous. And so now I'm like, I've been somewhat tired for like most of the afternoon, but it's like already a little past midnight, and I was like, I guess I'm going to go take a shower now. So yeah, I was up kind of late today, but the weird thing is though is that I finally feel awake and like not tired anymore. Like I felt tired like for most of the day today, and I feel like it was because I got too much sleep, and I just like didn't really feel like hardly getting to anything or getting anything done, which, like I said, was really frustrating, because I was like, yeah, I'm going to bed early, like I'm gonna get a good start to my day, like the daylight savings and everything like that. I actually feel like when it's falling back, it actually does help me again, because I do end up going to bed then earlier, and I end up getting up earlier because I went to bed early, and stuff like that. And so that's what I thought was going to happen last night, and apparently not. And so now, like I said, it's after midnight, and I'm like, oh, I finally feel awake, like I should go and, go get the stuff done that I wanted to get done for today. And no, apparently not, because I need to go to bed, otherwise I'm going to be up all night, and then, just be up and not get up early tomorrow either, which, like I said, is really frustrating, guys. I went to go, and I think it was around 8 o'clock, I went to go feed the dogs, and I was like, oh, I feel good, I feel like I want to go and get stuff done. I was like, it's 8 o'clock already. Like, it was, I actually think after 8 o'clock, it was like close to 8:30, almost 9, and I was like, yeah, I feel good, I feel like I want to go get stuff done. I was like, nope, don't. Because if I get into something and really get into starting something, I'm not going to, like, that is when I don't get tired out, and then I don't feel like tired enough to be like, yeah, like, okay, now I need to actually get to bed. And that's kind of what ended up happening, because I got this little burst of energy. I just decided I was actually going to work on a list for some couponing stuff that I was going to work on doing, and I started doing that and was watching The Office, because, guys, I heard from, I think Matthew or Jack said that it's supposed to leave Netflix, like, which has been on there for like forever, and Matthew's literally watched this season like 40 times or something like that, the whole series. And so I was like, I've never seen it all the way through. I've watched the beginning like probably like 5 times, like the first like 3 seasons, like 5 times in a row, because I'm always like, oh, I'm gonna restart The Office, and then I do, and then I only get through like the first few seasons. And so, like I said, and I like seen other episodes like later on, like I know what happens and stuff like that, and like, little chunks of the you know, stuff here and there, but I've never watched it all the way through. And so I was like, I really need to like just watch it before like I said, I think it's supposed to leave either like this year or next year or something like that. They're gonna, I think, not have it off Netflix, but I don't know. I've heard that kind of stuff before, and then they bring things back or they keep it longer or, you know, whatever. So goodness guys, I think I have something in my eye. So it's what I was doing today, and like I said, working on one of the lists of things that I was trying to get done for couponing as well. But I was doing that in the afternoon because I was just like, you know what, like later, like I guess in the nighttime, was working on that because I wanted to try and not get to anything super important, because I knew I need to keep myself tired and like lazy, so I'd go to bed, which again, now it's after midnight and I still apparently wasn't tired out enough to have gone to bed. But it really stinks because I did good over this weekend, and like I said, I thought daylight savings was actually going to kind of like be a good thing, and it seems like it's actually not. Well, it didn't help me much, which like I said, and sometimes it has though, like actually getting that extra hour of sleep, but you know, it actually helps me jumpstart like back onto its sleeping schedule sort of, but apparently not. The other thing too guys is I'm really excited because I was like, you know what, Thanksgiving is like really coming up like really soon, and I'm super excited about it. And honestly guys, I figured out, okay, maybe I haven't pinpointed it exactly, and this isn't necessarily true for everybody, but I was starting to think about today, like why some people like right after Halloween go like right into Christmas. It's like you move like straight from one holiday right to the other, and there's like Thanksgiving in there. And like my mom and like all of my other family members have always been really big about like, they never put their Christmas tree up. Like we never ever had a Christmas, I don't think, in any family party at anybody else's house. Like nobody ever put a Christmas tree up before Thanksgiving. And I was like, why do people like do that? Like I didn't really notice it, I think, until like I started getting on social media and, you know, seeing other people and posting and stuff like that. And like even to some of the family members that like, you know, were on Facebook back in, you know, when I was still in high school and stuff like that, like they were never like, oh, I'm, you know, putting up my Christmas tree like this month or something like that, you know, or whatever. I've already put up their Christmas tree. Like nobody's like posting about that. I'm sure they will like after Thanksgiving and stuff like that, and once it gets closer to, you know, like December and everything. But I was trying to really figure that out, and what I noticed is, guys, I'm not going to say it's necessarily true for everybody, but like I said, like my friends, like nobody around me ever would put up like I said, a Christmas tree, or like that I ever saw there was ever a Christmas tree up before Thanksgiving. One of my absolute best friends when I was growing up, at her house, they'd always actually get their Christmas tree when they were coming back from, I think, their like grandparents' house or something like that, the day after Thanksgiving. So the day after Thanksgiving, they almost always had like a real Christmas tree up at their house. But like I said, like all of my friends and stuff like that, they never had it up, and I was really trying to figure out like, why does it seem like there's some people that just start celebrating like Christmas, and you know, it's like the holiday season like right after Halloween. I was really getting into thinking about this today, and I think that it's maybe just more of a like regional thing, because if you think about it, you live in like Texas and, you know, like maybe more in the South, or in, you know, like California area, and, you know, in the desert area and stuff like that. And it's hot like most year round, and you don't get snow all that often or super early in the year and stuff like that. I think that it's like, for us here in the Midwest at least, it is very like, you know, we start getting, you know, this year was an exception that we got snow on Halloween, but you know, it's very weird that like to have like a super early snow. Like normally during Thanksgiving, it's still fall out. The leaves are still falling off the trees, you know, all that kind of stuff. So we're still celebrating fall, and our fall decorations are still staying up, because our summer decorations were staying up until, you know, September time, you know, August, September time and stuff like that. And then around that September, October to November time is when our fall decorations tend to come out. And I think that, you know, like I said, at least for in my immediate group of friends and family and stuff like that, like never tended to put up like Christmas decorations or winter decorations early on in like, you know, November and stuff like that. That was really weird, especially like I said, when I was growing up. And I never really seemed to have noticed that until like recently. You know, like obviously the stores all put that kind of stuff up, but I was kind of thinking about that and I was like, maybe it's because, you know, like over here we tend to have like, you know, there's leaves still falling off the trees right now. Like it's weird to have Christmas stuff. I mean, it's a little bit weird because there was snow, like I said, on Halloween, but you know, we still are celebrating like fall because it's still fall. It's still like kind of the harvest season. Again, if there wasn't snow, we'd probably still be picking, you know, some tomatoes, but our tomato plants are pretty much dead now because there was several inches of snow on them. But you know, just like that kind of thing, like I said, it's you know, I feel like maybe that's the difference in like some of those other areas where they don't have like drastic temperature changes and get snow and stuff like that, you know, in November and December and stuff like that, even that maybe that's why. But like I said, it was just really weird and I never noticed that until like the last few years that I've really been on social media, and I was like, why are people putting up their Christmas trees, like, you know? And like I said, sometimes some people around here would kind of do it, but it was kind of like you were the weird person on the block if you did that. Like people all be like, why do you have your Christmas decorations up? Like it's not even like Thanksgiving time yet. Like there's no snow on the ground. Like once there's a risk of snow, that's normally when people start to put their Christmas decorations up and their, you know, Christmas lights and, you know, all of the winter decorations, all that kind of stuff. Because like our neighbors across the street too, they like would decorate their bushes and all that kind of stuff, but it never would come like really before Thanksgiving. Like I'm not expecting to see anybody on our block really putting any Christmas decorations up in the next few weeks, at least for us. And I feel like, again, a lot of the people around in our neighborhood especially too, like tend to start putting decorations up once we have a real risk of there actually being snow, because sometimes it's a little bit more difficult to like get stakes in the ground if the ground is frozen over, or to get, you know, like up on the roof if it's snowy and icy and all that kind of stuff, to put your, you know, your Christmas decorations and your lights up and that kind of stuff. But I kind of was like wondering about that, and I guess maybe that's the reason why. Just because, like I said, it was, to me at least, it was really bizarre to see like people like, why do they post like about, you know, like, oh, their Christmas stuff is up and, you know, like decorations and stuff like that. I was like, we are still like just barely, like the leaves are falling off the trees still, and you know, people are outside like with leaf bags like raking up all the leaves and stuff like that. I was like, why is that like, you know, a thing? Like, and then I was kind of thinking about it. I was like, maybe in areas where it's not, you know, like I've noticed that too, especially like I tried to pinpoint it more this year. I've noticed that in areas where, like, again, people tend to not have as much, again, that drastic weather change, tends to be what I've noticed is more the people that are putting up their Christmas decorations already, because they don't get it, a lot of times don't get to enjoy the snow and stuff like that. You're not going to have snow in some of those areas, so like it doesn't really affect when you put your Christmas decorations up. But like I said, like around here, it's never really been like a big thing. And not to say that like there isn't people around here that aren't going to be putting their Christmas decorations up, or maybe just having them inside, or don't put anything on, you know, decorations up outside or whatever. But, you know, yeah, I feel like maybe that's a good comparison as to like why sometimes that kind of stuff happens. But like I said, I never have like really, like I said, there would be people that like I knew did that. Like we follow the seasons more than just like, oh, it's a holiday that's coming up. So we're kind of like, we stay with where the season is putting us. So once we start getting a real threat of snow, I'm sure it's going to feel like really like Christmas, you know? And so when we do start getting snow in November, like that's when people will maybe start putting more of their decorations up, because we follow like more the seasons than just the holidays. And so yeah, that's what like I said, guys, I don't know that that's necessarily true, but I know that for us, and like I said, our family, most of the people that live in our area, which my aunt actually moved out to Texas, and I thought last year she put her like Christmas decorations up like early, and I was like, that's weird, because like she never would post about that when she lived back in Illinois. I can't remember exactly if she did or not, but I remember like seeing something like, you know, like that, or like she might have put like fall decorations up like really early or something like that. That was like really weird, and I was like, why? It's like still hot out here, you know, kind of thing. Which I'm like, in Texas it's hot there for a good portion of the year. It's not gonna get very cold, you know, so like that kind of thing. But yeah, like I said, it's weird just like noticing those things. And like I said, that's why like I hate and I love the Midwest, guys. It's a bittersweet relationship I have here, because I'd love to be somewhere where it's warm all the time, but I'd also feel like I'm missing out on those like just like holidays. Like, what would I do if I wasn't wearing a like, you know, parka out to, you know, football game or to a soccer game or something like that in the middle of, you know, winter? Like, that's weird now, you know, to think about that. And I don't have like 50 layers on when we go to Jack's football game in October, you know, which sometimes isn't always true. Sometimes, like, you know, I was thinking back to, because the Cubs have been sharing a whole lot about like the World Series 3 years ago, and I was like, oh yeah, when they did the parade, it was hot out for that, and that was in November, I believe. It was like November 3rd or something like that. I think that they had the big, like, you know, the parade and the rally and all that stuff, and like it was really hot out. I remember that day. It was like a summer day, and like, and everybody, I was watching a video too that was on Twitter, and I was like, everybody was in t-shirts that day, like, you know, and it was November. So it's not necessarily that that's always the case, but once it gets cold here, it gets cold and it stays cold here. Like, I wouldn't know what to do with like a like Valentine's Day either too if there wasn't snow on the ground, because we'll 90% of the time have snow on the ground still in February. Like, if there wasn't, like, you know, or if it wasn't bitterly cold outside, like, I wouldn't know what to do with myself, you know, like that kind of thing. If we didn't have risk of snow during Easter too, I don't know what I'd do with myself. Like, normally there's some type of, you know, like, we'll have you know, really cold weather around Easter time too. But like I said, it was really weird this year that we had snow on Halloween. That was weird. Normally that's not something that happens. We've gotten rain. It's been really cold out, but that I can remember personally, at least in the last several years, we haven't gotten like snow, or really bad snow where it was a few inches. Like, we may have gotten a dusting. It might have frosted in the mornings, or maybe we got a dusting of snow in the morning, like an October day. But again, nothing like we got this year that I can recall. And even too in November, like, obviously the beginning of November we could get some, but nothing that I like remember end of October like having that much snow, really. Anyways though, guys, like I said, I really need to get to bed, so I'll see you guys all in tomorrow's vlog. If you guys did enjoy today's, make sure you guys give a big old thumbs up. If you guys are new, we'd love if you'd subscribe, and I'll see all of your sunshiny faces tomorrow. So bye, guys.